play a game. Ugly Reds, use the power of drugs to defeat your enemies. Watch out for landmines. VIP card and get a bonus, yes! Deng Xiaoping. Think this is a game, Deng Xiaoping? Isn't the joke? Oh, you must die so that I may live. Yes. Addicted to heroin. Ugly Reds. Ugly Reds. Watch out for landmines. Oh, syringe. I missed it. Oh no. Trouble. Ooh. Deng Xiaoping, didn't I just kill you? Sure. Just Chin is dead. As you saw, I was able to get the Super Wildcard working again, which is the floppy disk drive for the Super Famicom, and of all the crazy miracles, the data on that 23-year-old floppy disk with Hong Kong 97 on it still worked. Everything was still intact, and I was able to play it on real hardware. This is the little floppy disk that could. In my last video, I had an update about Hong Kong 97, showing people that I had gotten the Super Wildcard, which is supposed to be able to play floppy disks, but it wasn't actually working. It looked like it was loading the disk, but when the game was supposed to start, it would just have a black screen. It wasn't actually playing the game. I had no idea what was wrong. I have no tech knowledge whatsoever. So I made some posts to some Facebook groups about retro games, taking a picture and showing the problem and asking people if they had any idea what might be going on. I had a few different suggestions, and one person pointed out to me that it looked like the floppy disk drive itself was going into safe mode, and so that I should take a close look at the drive itself. Now remember, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I did open up the unit itself with a screwdriver. It's very simple, and I noticed that the floppy disk drive, the metal casing, like part of it was like diagonal, as if it had kind of become partially yanked open. So I kind of tinkered around with some things and I was able to just close it. Now, that doesn't seem like it would do much, but when I put it back together and I stuck in a cartridge game, it played it. A couple seconds later, I saw the Konami logo, and it was playing Castlevania 4. So I'm like, oh my lord, it works. This is going to be the moment of truth. I have no choice. I have to do this. So I stuck in the Hong Kong 97 disc, hit load, and as soon as I hit the play game button, that music started. I almost hit the floor. I mean, it was the craziest experience seeing Hong Kong 97 actually still playing. What a miracle. So thanks a lot to everybody on the Facebook groups who gave me suggestions about what to do. It was just a tiny little thing. It was actually exactly what I said in the last video. At the end of the video, I said, maybe some little piece just came loose on the inside during shipping, and apparently that's what it was. So thank heavens, and thank also everybody who helped me out to get it fixed. I know a lot of people have been asking how much did I pay for Hong Kong 97, and I kept saying that once I get the wild card, I will reveal the price of how much it was. I paid basically the equivalent of $350 for Hong Kong 97. I paid 35,500 Japanese yen. In my mind, generally I convert yen, 1 yen being 1 cent, so 100 yen is $1. Basically, it's around $350. The truth is $1 is worth 110 yen. But you have to think about the fact that yen has different buying power compared to the prices in Japan. So to keep things simple in my mind, I just say 1 yen is 1 cent. So $350 US. I guess if you were to look at the conversion rate specifically, it would be about 320 US. So that's all. It's not exactly a small amount of money. I think it is a tiny, tiny fraction of what the game is actually worth, especially considering now that we know it actually is still playable. The really funny story is that when it came up, I hadn't been planning on buying anything. Obviously, I wasn't looking for Hong Kong 97. I just scour Yahoo Auctions Japan all the time, kind of. And one day at work in the morning when I was looking at the Super Nintendo section, there was this thing that said it was Hong Kong 97. And, you know, of course, at first I'm just like, that's got to be fake. So I open up the auction and look at it, and he says, the description was very sparse. It just said, this is a Hong Kong 97 for the Super Nintendo. I think it's pretty rare. That was all. And I looked at the person's score, and it's like, they have a perfect score of over 850. Just like, I don't think a person with a score that high would make this up. The starting bid was basically $10. It was 1,000 yen, so he was just going to let the market decide the price. So I put on my watch list. Now, I had just bought something extremely expensive. I had just bought the soundtrack to Zero Divide 2. It's a huge amount of money, so I had been planning on buying nothing for a long time. But when I saw this come up, I'm just like, there's no way in the world that this is not going to get bid up to over $1,000. You know, I think it's going to probably sell for several $1,000s. But in my mind, I'm just like, if for some godforsaken reason it sells for within 500, I have no choice but to buy it. So I figured that's impossible. And the most ridiculous thing about it is no one bid on it up until about 20 minutes before it ended. Usually a game with some value, you know, you're going to get some bids gradually. Obviously, everybody holds their, highest bid up till the last few minutes. But there was nothing, literally, for the entire 5 days it was, that it was up. Literally, nobody had bid on it up until 20 minutes, till the very end. And I should tell you guys something about Yahoo Auctions Japan. It's kind of significantly different from eBay because of one little thing. There's a setting that almost everybody uses, which makes it such that if an auction gets a bid within the last 5 minutes, the time will extend an extra 5 minutes. So there's none of this crap about, putting in your number at the last 3 seconds and trying to trick people. You cannot do that. If you bid when there's, anything less than 5 minutes, it's just the time's gonna extend and it'll give other people a chance to bid. So things sell for what they're worth. It's great for sellers. It's very stressful and nerve-wracking when you're trying to bid on something that you really, really want. because some people are just idiots and they extend the time, or maybe, some people are not Japanese who bid on the auctions and they might not be able to read Japanese perfectly, so don't understand how that works. So I put in, I started putting in my numbers gradually towards the end, and it, kind of got up over 80 and it got up over 100. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And I think the time extended like twice, and it's just like, my heart is about to beat out my chest, because I'm getting so stressed out. And it starts going over 200, 300, but I'm like gradually putting in my higher bid. So I put in 400, goes up to 355, and it looks like no one else is going to bid on it. And time ran out and I won. I like fell on the floor in relief. I'm just like, oh my God, I own Hong Kong 97. So that's kind of an interesting little story about how I won the game, but it was basically $350. So now we know that, yes, the data on this Hong Kong 97 disc is still intact. It has remained for an entire 23 years. It's truly a miracle, and I was able to play it on my real Super Famicom. And I discovered that it is just as crappy as we all already knew it was. But it's truly a miracle, and it's a blessing to be able to play it, the only one, or one of the only ones. I am starting to feel like maybe it would be better in the hands of a museum or somebody who understands really how to preserve this kind of technology, because I don't really know anything about that. As Indiana Jones would say, that belongs in a museum. But for now, it's going to be in my collection. So thanks a lot for coming and joining me again, Ultra Healthy Video Game Nerd. I'm going to take off for now. Please do subscribe. This channel is not just Hong Kong 97. I review games that were kind of Japan exclusive usually. I look at games that were only in Japan. Some things that I feel like don't get enough love yet, even though we have YouTube and information is a lot more widespread. So please do come back. Got a lot more fun videos coming up. I'll see you next time.